Some of you might be familiar with this sound. That's right, it's our zapper, used for hunting ducks, clay pigeons, and the occasional ruffian on the Old West. This is what many of us know as the Nintendo Entertainment System Zapper, or Nintendo Zapper as it says on the side. This is the original gray, and as a lot of you know, there was a large number of them also manufactured in orange. Now here's something else. This is the gun, or Famicom gun. Some people also refer to it as the light gun, or revolver light gun. I'd like to call it just gun because that's actually all it says on the box. Let me get the box out. Katakana spells gun. And yeah, that's the box. And here's the gun. And once again, obviously it's modeled off of the Colt Single Action Army. Has a much more realistic look to it. And it's kind of funny because obviously this probably wouldn't fly in the States. Yeah, as you can see, it has a hammer that you can pull back. You do not need to pull the hammer back in order to fire it. It's pretty much cosmetic. You can kind of add an artificial level of challenge to your game if you feel like you need to cock back with your other finger or your other thumb and pull the trigger. Yeah, this gun came out in, it's labeled 1984, a year before the NES came out in the States. And yeah, it pretty much functions the same exact way. The trigger does feel a tiny bit different. It instead of coming straight back like the Zapper does, this kind of has a hinge right there, so it does feel a little different. And I'm not sure if it's a design flaw with all of these or with just mine, but I do feel that it, once I get past the hammer pull, it kind of wiggles right here, and at that wiggling point it can fire multiple times, and so it's kind of inconvenient when you're playing a game like Duck Hunt. You might take the first shot, and if your finger moves like at all, oh, you accidentally fired your other 2 rounds and you lose. So yeah, kind of inconvenient. And I'll show you how it plugs in. They use this little serial port on the front of the Famicom. There's a little lid right here. And you just pop it in like that, and you're ready to play some Duck Hunt. Here's another comparison. You got the side by side with the Zapper here. It's just a tiny bit smaller. The barrel length is obviously smaller if you compare the back of this to that. Yeah, it's a bit smaller, but just as effective. With the packaging, there's 2 known packaging to exist. There's this as the standalone gun that you could buy, and then there was also a package bundle with Wild Gunman in it. That one's a bit more rare. It included obviously Wild Gunman, and it also included a plastic holster that you could put on your belt loop and place your gun in. That way you could kind of play quick draw with it. Unlike the Western Zapper, the Famicom gun was not a pack-in item. Pretty much everybody who had an NES more or less had one of these, or at least anybody who bought the action pack. But so there was millions of these available, you know, like millions and millions of these made. Pretty much like almost every NES came with one. Unlike the gun here, or revolver light gun, it was sold separately, and at the time of its release it was lesser known. It wasn't like everybody was playing Duck Hunt and everybody was, you know, playing with this toy, so it's a little bit more rare in that respect.